Google Workspace is a suite of cloud-based productivity tools developed by Google. It brings together a set of applications that allow you to create, store, share, and collaborate on documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and many other types of files, all from a web browser, without needing to install any software on your computer. In the context of your digital marketing training, Google Workspace is one of the essential tools you will use on a daily basis to organize your work, structure your strategies, track performance data, and collaborate with clients or colleagues. In the previous activity, you created a dedicated Gmail address. This Gmail account is also your Google account, which means it automatically gives you access to all Google Workspace tools, including Google Drive, Google Docs, and Google Sheets. These three tools are the ones you will encounter most frequently in your work as a digital marketing professional, and they are the focus of this course. Google Drive, your cloud storage space. Google Drive is the file storage and organization service at the heart of Google Workspace. Think of it as a hard drive stored on the internet, often called the cloud, rather than on your physical computer. This means your files are accessible from any device connected to the internet: your computer, your smartphone, a tablet, or even a computer that does not belong to you. When you open Google Drive, you see a simple interface with a left-hand menu and a central area that displays your files and folders. You can create folders to organize your content, just as you would on your desktop. For example, as a digital marketing consultant, you might create a folder called Clients, and inside it, a subfolder for each client you work with, such as Client A, Bakery, or Client B, Online Clothing Store. Inside each client folder, you could then store their marketing strategy documents, performance reports, and campaign files. Google Drive offers 15 gigabytes of free storage space with a standard Google account. This is generally sufficient for text documents, spreadsheets, and presentations. Files created directly within Google Workspace, such as Google Docs or Google Sheets files, do not count toward this storage limit, which is an important advantage. One of the most powerful features of Google Drive is file sharing. Instead of sending large files by email, you can simply share a link to a file or folder. When sharing, you can choose the level of access you grant. View only. The person can read the file but cannot modify it. Comment. The person can add comments but cannot change the content. Edit. The person can modify the file directly. This system is extremely useful in digital marketing, where you often need to share reports with clients. View only. Get feedback from a supervisor, comment, or collaborate with a colleague on a campaign plan. Edit. You can also control whether a file is accessible to anyone with a link, or only to specific people you have explicitly invited. This is important for maintaining confidentiality, especially when working with sensitive client data. Google Docs, your online word processor. Google Docs is the word processing application included in Google Workspace. It works similarly to Microsoft Word, but it runs entirely in your browser and saves your work automatically. There is no need to press a save button. Every change you make is recorded in real time and stored directly in Google Drive. With Google Docs, you can write text, apply formatting, bold, italic, headings, colors, insert images, tables, and links, and create professional-looking documents. In a digital marketing context, Google Docs is commonly used to write content briefs, editorial calendars in text format, client proposals, marketing strategy documents, meeting notes, and campaign reports. For example, imagine you are preparing a content strategy for a client who runs a yoga studio. You would open Google Docs, create a new document, and write a brief that includes the target audience, the tone of voice, the types of content to produce, blog articles, social media posts, newsletters, and the publication frequency. You then share this document with your client so they can read it and leave comments directly in the text. The comment feature in Google Docs is particularly valuable for collaboration. You can highlight a specific sentence or paragraph and add a comment to ask a question or suggest a change. The other person can reply to the comment or mark it as resolved once the point has been addressed. This creates a clear and traceable conversation directly within the document, avoiding long and confusing email threads. Google Docs also has a version history feature. You can see every version of your document going back to the very first save, and you can restore a previous version at any time. This is very reassuring when you are working on an important document and want to keep track of changes or recover content you accidentally deleted. Another useful feature is the ability to work offline. If you activate offline mode in your Google Drive settings, you can continue editing Google Docs files even without an internet connection. Your changes will be synchronized automatically the next time you reconnect. Google Sheets, your online spreadsheet tool. Google Sheets is the spreadsheet application in Google Workspace. It is the equivalent of Microsoft Excel, but cloud-based, collaborative, and free with your Google account. Google Sheets allows you to organize data in rows and columns, perform calculations using formulas, create charts, and analyze information. In digital marketing, Google Sheets is one of the most frequently used tools. You will use it throughout your career to build and track key performance indicators, manage advertising budgets, analyze campaign results, create editorial calendars, and organize contact lists or email sequences for marketing automation. Here are some concrete examples of how Google Sheets is used in digital marketing. Performance Tracking Dashboard. You create a spreadsheet where each row represents a week or a month, and each column contains a key indicator such as the number of website visits, the number of leads generated, the conversion rate, and the advertising spend. This allows you to monitor results over time and spot trends. Budget Management. You allocate a monthly advertising budget across different channels. For example, €300 on Google Ads, €200 on Facebook Ads, and €100 on email marketing software. You track actual spending versus planned spending in real time. Editorial Calendar. You use a spreadsheet to plan all the content to be published over the next month. Blog articles, Instagram posts, newsletters. Each row is a piece of content, and the columns include the publication date, the platform, the topic, the status, to write, in review, published, and the person responsible. Contact List for email campaigns. You organize a list of subscribers with their first name, last name, email address, and any segmentation data you need, such as the product they purchased or the region they live in. Google Sheets supports a wide range of formulas that make data analysis much easier. Some of the most useful ones in a marketing context include sum, adds up a range of numbers. For example, equals sum B2:B13 gives you the total of 12 monthly values. Average, calculates the average of a range of values. If, applies a condition. For example, equals if C2 greater than 100, good, low, displays good if the value in cell C2 is greater than 100, and low otherwise. Countif, counts the number of cells that meet a specific condition. For example, equals countif D2:D50, published, counts how many content pieces have the status published in your editorial calendar. Just like Google Docs, Google Sheets saves automatically, supports real-time collaboration, has a full version history, and allows you to share files with different levels of access. One additional feature worth knowing is the ability to import data from external sources. For example, you can import a comma-separated values file exported from an advertising platform or an analytics tool directly into Google Sheets, and then use formulas and charts to analyze that data. This makes Google Sheets a central hub for performance analysis in many digital marketing workflows. Why Google Workspace matters for digital marketing professionals. As a digital marketing professional, you will rarely work alone. You will collaborate with clients, freelancers, agencies, or internal teams. Google Workspace is designed precisely for this kind of collaborative work. Its tools are free to use at the basic level, require no installation, are accessible from anywhere, and are already widely used across companies of all sizes. Mastering Google Drive, Google Docs, and Google Sheets means you can organize all your marketing files in a structured and accessible way, produce professional documents such as proposals, strategies, and reports, analyze and present performance data clearly, collaborate efficiently with any stakeholder, regardless of their location, save time by automating repetitive tasks with formulas and shared templates. These skills are not optional, they are fundamental. Whether you are building a conversion funnel plan, tracking the results of an email campaign, or presenting a marketing strategy to a client, you will rely on these tools constantly. The sooner you become comfortable with them, the more productive and professional you will be in your day-to-day work. In the upcoming activities, you will use Google Docs and Google Sheets directly in practical workshops. This theoretical course gives you the foundation you need to understand what these tools are, what they are used for, and how they fit into your work as a digital marketing expert.